electrical rated hard hats, it's void if you have certain stickers on there. The adhesive can affect them. Certain adhesives will deteriorate the plastic, and chemicals. So turpentine, paint, all those kind of things. Plus some paint is conductive. So hard hats are really not designed to have adjustments made to them. Okay, so don't put stickers on them. Don't paint them with stuff in your garage and stuff like that. If you want a Dolphins hard hat, go buy a Dolphin hard hat. Okay, they have them at Fastenal. And they're easy to come by because nobody but me in this town likes the Dolphins. Oh, Brooks likes it though. That's how you know a true fan. 0-6. In fact, true fans actually at times root for them to lose.
Yeah, we ought to look.
Number 1 draft pick. Yeah. All right. Classes of hard hats. I don't know the classes. I don't remember the classes. G, general, used to be A. Good impact protection but limited voltage. E, used to be B, now it's for electrical. Protects against falling objects and high voltage. C, designed for comfort. Limited protection. Protects heads from bumps but not against falling objects or electrical shock. I was in the shipyard and we had a big net up. We were in the dry dock on my submarine. And we had a big net to keep people from falling, but they hadn't put the little, and the squares were like this big, like a cargo net, but they hadn't put the mesh net up yet. Somebody dropped a wrench and it hit he wasn't really an LPO, but he was close. He was one of my senior guys on there. Whacked him, he was walking underneath and whacked him in the hard hat. And it stuck in the side, it came down like on here, and it actually poked a hole in the hard hat. It flipped out, so it kind of conked him a little bit in the head, but it hit his shoulder, and he had to have stitches in his shoulder, but his head was okay. Because the hard hat, the bottom of the wrench hit it like it was a crescent wrench, and it was probably one about that long. So it fell maybe 40 feet, and it put a hole in his hard hat, flipped around where it hit, and the teeth of that crescent wrench got him in the shoulder, and he needed stitches here, but his head was okay. Hard hat did its job, I guess. Hearing protection. Ear muffs. There's canal caps. That's a canal cap. Yes?
I just had a question about the hard hats.
Speak to me.
Is there a limit on how high you can go without them being tied up to your chin? Like having a chin strap on?
I don't know. That would actually, you're talking about how high, like elevation?
Yeah.
Not like wind or anything like that?
Yeah, like your elevation you're climbing up.
Are you worried about it falling off and hitting people below you?
Well, yeah.
Or
yeah, cause
you doing work and bumping your head?
Well, like if you're up there working, bend over, it falls off, then you're kind of in trouble not to.
I think that would probably be more assigned.
Is that like a side to side or is it standard?
I have no idea. Homework, look it up. Hearing protection. Those are called canal caps. Earplugs, ear muffs. Foot protection. That's like Tin Man stuff. Looks like he's cutting there, so he's using a cutting torch. Looks like a cutting torch to me. Either that or it's got a nail in there and the saw's sparking pretty heavy. What are some causes of foot injuries? Heavy objects such as barrels or tools that might roll onto or fall onto employees' feet. Sharp objects poking up through. Hot stuff that might go down and burn through. Hot or wet surfaces, slippery surfaces.
Kicking a broken pump is one.
Yeah, that's something you don't think about is if you're working in an area that has a lot of stuff stacked on the deck, then steel-toed shoes, you might not have the crushing issue, but you might have the stubbing your toe issue. So you can stub your steel or stub your toe. I actually got ran over by a forklift, just my toe, and they said that I was in an area that required steel toes and I was not in compliance. I had tennis shoes on. And this forklift ran over my 3 small toes, my 3 littler toes on this foot. And it smashed them so much that blood squirted out the side. But they told me that if I would have been in compliance and had steel toes on,
Cut them off.
that it could have cut them off. So in that case, but that's an exception, not the rule. Steel toes will protect you most of the time. So don't use that analogy that I just used to justify not wearing them.
But if they cut them off and you were in compliance, then it would have fell under workman's comp.
Actually, they probably would have given me, what, $1,000 a toe or something like that? Which, that was in 1979, that was a, so I would have been, that was a lot of money back then.
I don't know, it's only 2,000 a finger or out of right now.
Really? Okay, if you got stuff poking up from the bottom, then you might have to have that, what's it called? No, that's the top. The instep or whatever it's called, protection. What's it called?
Steel shank?
Shank, is that the bottom? They make shoes that have the reinforcement on the bottom to keep you from stepping on stuff to go through. They make, sometimes, instead of steel toes, they have the whole top of your foot that has protection. Is that metatarsal, is that what that's called? So depending on what you're doing, the different levels of PPE you need, okay? Hot or wet surfaces, don't wear shoes that melt. Slippery surfaces, make sure they have good grip. You can actually, if you're in a water environment, you might put some non-skid down, okay? Some stuff you can spray on or clean it and glue it down so that it gives you some better traction. Safety shoes, impact, forgot this was in here. Impact resistant toes and heat resistant soles that protect against hot surfaces common in roofing, paving, and hot metal industries. That's one type of safety shoe. Some have metal insoles that protect against puncture wounds. May be designated to be electrically conductive for use in explosive atmospheres or non-conductive to protect from workplace electrical hazards. Okay, designed to be electrically conductive for use in explosive atmospheres. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Grounded.
Yeah, grounded.
So you can't
No spark. Okay?
You have to usually be on a conductive
ESD.
surface.
Do what? I'm sorry, Albert.
Usually you have to be on a conductive surface for those to be effective.
Well, they make shoes, if you go like this, games reactor operators play. We used to turn the lights out and see how big of an arc we could draw to somebody's ear. So we had this really cool carpet out the site, and you'd scuff it like this, and you could draw, sometimes the bolt was about 3/4 of an inch long between your finger and some dude's earlobe. It was pretty cool. So if it's a static problem, you wear shoes that are conductive, that don't build, because all static electricity is you just build up a differential, right, like a capacitor, and when you discharge it, then that's where the spark goes. If your shoes don't build up static or they're conductive, you won't get that differential, so the capacitive effect.
Dissipating and conductive.
Okay, metatarsal guards. A part of the shoes or strapped to the outside, kind of like a pitcher's toe if you ever played baseball. You can get them sewed on, so it's just supporting the whole top of your foot. Hand protection, gloves. Burns, bruises, abrasions, cuts, punctures, fractures, amputations, chemical exposures. Okay, so we make, depending on the hazard, depending on the glove, right? Types of gloves. I actually went through this when I bought these safety gloves a couple years ago for EzTech that people have, they're not there anymore, but I used to kind of know what these meant. Resist permeation and breakthrough by an array of chemicals. So those are really expensive, but they're really good. Okay, permeation means they go through, and breakthrough means they can eat it away till you get from the outside environment to your skin. So anyway, depending on the type of stuff you're working with, you need to tailor the gloves. You need to tailor the PPE to what you're using. Okay. Don't use electrical safety gloves to stick your hand in some glowing yellow goo. Okay? It probably isn't going to protect you for very long. Beton, I don't know. Nitrile, you guys have all heard of those. And there's what they use or provide protection for. This nitrile, if you look at the glove, it's got like a kind of a furry inside. Excellent, resistant to cuts, snags, punctures, and abrasions, along with chemicals. Okay, so those are a pretty popular glove there. Kevlar for cuts. We have some Kevlar gloves. They don't prevent you from cutting your finger off. Okay, they don't prevent you from getting cut. They just help minimize the chance, and if you do, the severity. Okay, because they've got the Kevlar fiber woven into it.
Yeah, but they don't protect against punctures though, right?
Yeah, because they're not. It's not solid. There's no overlap in there. So. Stainless steel mesh protects against cuts and lacerations. Okay, just because you have this stainless steel mesh doesn't mean you're not going to get cut. Just greatly reduces the chance of something that's not like he's cutting a chunk of meat in there. That would probably help him there, but it's not going to keep you from a saw chopping your hand off.
Someone lose their finger at Arby's with those on.
Really?
Slicer.
Well, what were you holding the hand there for?
Because I'm an asshole.
We're being recorded.
Oh,
It's
excuse me. Oh, butt head.
butthead. Body protection. Some causes of bodily injuries: intense heat, hot metal splashes, impact, cuts, hazardous chemicals, infectious materials like blood, and radiation.